We got our favorite racist, Zach, playing Diabellstar Rescue Ace.
Yep. Class is in session.
What'd you get?
I went 5-0 today. I played Branded, then I played a bunch of other stuff. I couldn't remember all the matches. I know round 4 I played into D-Link, and round 5 I played Spriggans. Can't remember 2 and 3 to save my life. Anyway, deck's pretty good. Good going first and second, and you have a lot of room for non-engine. That's why I picked it up a while ago. And now we get to see the rewards because this card exists, the Wanted. So let's go right into it. I have 3 Hydrant here. I wanted to cut this to 2, but I didn't get the 3rd Wanted in time, so we kept it at 3. Note to self and note to everyone playing, keep this at 3 because you will cycle through these pretty quickly. And I think you will need them more as you keep playing, especially in the grind game. 3 Airlifter, standard. This card's absolutely bonkers. 1 Impulse, you cut this to 1. I think it's better at 1 now because you search it going first in your main combo line, because you could set 4 off the turb and then alert this to hand. You have that extra extension to get into your Book of Moon next turn without playing it in nib if you want. And also it's nice because if you do open to go second, you can get your engine flowing. The big debacle of 3 versus 1 is still in effect, of course, but I think personally running 1 is better, just so you have room for non-engine stuff that could allow you to play going second a little better. For the big names, 2 turb, cards broken, set 4. Did not get impermed a single time today, and it explains a lot why this deck can go so well. If your opponent doesn't see imperm, they start to struggle unless they have the best gas possible. 2 Preventer, Book of Moon. You go through these actually pretty fast. You have a lot of games where you go through both of them and you struggle to get them back. So I thought about running 3, but you really just can't because it could get breaky that way. And then last but not least, the primary target of Impulse, the Fire Engine. If you see this, I run it still even with the 1 Impulse because it's kind of like a not Division Dragon of sorts, where you can you chain block the Airlifter so your opponent can't ash you on that, so you get your combo going. So I kind of like it as a little extender in the hand, and it's also an Impulse target, which is pretty cool because you can circulate more cards. For the spells and traps of the Rescue Ace stuff, HQ, cards broken. I don't know why people are cutting it. Keep it in. Stupidest card of all time. It's the 2nd most ashable card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, only behind Branded Fusion. The Rescue, Monster Reborn, Alert, Rhoda, the Contain. This one is the Negate and the Extinguish, the Pops. These are the best 4 cards to set ever. If you open one of them, you just set this instead and you're fine. Good lord, these cards are strong. For the Diabellstar stuff, 1 Lady, you only need 1. I don't think the 2nd's worth running. Only 2 Wanted tonight because I only own 2. I didn't get my 3rd one in time. I couldn't get my hands on it, so we ran 2. It was still fine. I saw it fairly often. And you could get out Prosperity too and then keep playing that way and just engage on the next turn.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Means a lot. 1 Snake Eye, part of your combo line, and then the Heat that Ibo's playing that some people are on, some are not, Jet Synchron. So you could use this in draw phase like a Branded opening, get this in hand, and you can use that combo line to get this out. If you send, let's say you have a Hydrant and you link Garibo, send the link Garibo, make this, you have a Savage, and you play through Nibiru. This card's super good because if your hand is even more gas, you could also make Baron as well. Now for the non-engine, 3 of the best utility card in Yu-Gi-Oh! As well as a Rhoda. I still think this card's necessary because you need Airlifter. It's the best starter in the game right now, in my opinion. 3 Ash Blossom. Card's nuts in this format. 3 Crow. This card was an MVP for me today. Stopped banished quite a few Albazes. Also was super good against D-Link because you just banished a target. I was in a slow game state and I banished the Rocket Tracer that the Striker Dragon was trying to add back, and I won that game. 3 Imperm. I think this card's mandatory in this format still, even if decks like Unchained play through it, no problem, because it gets tribute. It's super good into the mirror as well, which you'll be seeing a lot of in the upcoming format. And lastly, for the Make It 40, 2 copies of Tactics. I was thinking about Nibiru because this is more of a rogue local in general typically, but this card is such a good defense card going first. Unfortunately, I don't think I resolved it once. I did not get to activate it all day today. But the theory was there, and I still like it too. For the extra deck, Jet Synchron targets, Savage and Baron. You make both of these, but you make one of them before you get nibbed. Every single combo that you open the wanted. And, I mean, yeah, now you're not weak to nib anymore, and that makes it cool. Abyss Dweller, and I guess I'll put it out here now, the Puzzlemino. I put this in just to test to see if I like it or not. I didn't play a deck that relied too much on the graveyard, so I didn't make it once. I still want to keep testing it a little bit. I think it can be played, but you could also cut these two if you want. If you're not afraid of tier as much, go first. And you could just, you could run the Typhon, you can run Nightmare Phoenix, whatever else you want. And it's pretty good. Link Rebo, Anima, and Almirage, these are pretty standard. I Anima'd twice today. This card is super nice. Hita, I don't run Dark. I missed out on it once today, I think. And it would have won me that game. But this card I made a couple times as well. IP, main and board piece now. Sunlight Wolf, still pretty good. You can still make Heat Soul lines with this, or you can just use this to make an SP and add stuff back to your hand. Little Knight, bannable already. I was teetering with the idea of running two because I pulled a second one after a case tournament top. But I ended up only going with one just for space reasons. There was one time where the second one would have came up. I don't think you really need to. Link Freeze and Above, Heat Soul, you make this sometimes. I actually use this in an OTK line to make access code. So you could just draw one and make that. But this is the main card for the access code, because if you have the Wanted and you're going second, tell me what attribute is this card. I'll give you 3 seconds, chat. Go ahead. It's a spellcaster. You don't get 3 seconds.
Yeah, spellcaster. Well, you said attribute, so.
Oh, did I? Oops. Yep, race theory. Yeah, rarely. It just summons back the Diabell Star and you make an access code and kill. Obvious, wrong one. This one. I made this. I did not make it at all at a case tournament. I played it Saturday and I debated cutting it. I made this 3 or 4 every round today, at least once. I think except for maybe one. And then last but not least, this card's pretty good into a purely. It's pretty good into tier. If you make it in the late game in either of those situations, it just ends the duel. It's also decent against a lot of the rogue stuff out there right now, like D-Link and whatever else, Branded Chimera. I feel pretty good about most everything in the extra, but I want to keep testing around with Puzzlemino Dweller. Everything else felt pretty good. For the side deck, Pankratops. This was just a last-minute addition. I wanted to test it. I didn't see it once. It was fine, in theory, though. 3 Droll. A lot of not meta here that loses to this card pretty badly. I'm considering bringing this with me to like higher level events as well. I have to test a little more on that because I don't think it's good at anything except for like kind of the mirror and kind of tier limit. 3 Gamma Seal. I went more of a board breaker approach than a hand trap approach. This card came up a lot actually. I've been in a few times. There was one time I didn't use it because I wanted to keep the lower bodies.
Local plays a lot of towers.
There's a lot of towers.
Or fake towers.
And also like this, the theory behind this wasn't even a locals thing. It was, I wanted to take a new approach to how do I out Noir and how do I out stuff like Bull and Dragon, as well as there was one other big card. I mean, SP Little Knight's another big one. Tryhart's a big one. Things like that that are scary for this deck going into. So I wanted to test this. It did come up pretty good for me against Branded Chimera today. Change of Heart. This was the 15th slot. Probably cutting it. Didn't see it once. The Board Breaker approach. It was an interesting concept. I don't think I'm going to run it back like this again. I think instead I'm going to turn these two into like a better dark ruler type thing. 3 back row hate. This deck loses pretty badly to Labyrinth. And I think Labyrinth is scary. I actually sided it in once, and I saw the Duster. This was versus Branded, like pure Branded round 1. It's macro hate. There's nothing else to say about it. The 3rd Talents, and then 3D Barrier to side in. Going first. Again, didn't see this once, even when I sided it in. I didn't see this either. But my main theory behind it is another Pearly Killer, because that matchup's super scary because of the field spell. I also wanted it for like tier limits. Pretty good there. It's pretty good into the mirror kind of now if you see them going for Jet Synchron lines. And it's good against almost every rogue deck in this format right now, because everything uses stuff that's not League monsters anymore. And I think that's about it. I appreciate y'all for watching. Shout out to the boys back home. Shout out to everyone here for making this a great local. Decks and Dice, peace out.
Hey, come next week. We had our highest turnout this week.
We did have our
Say hi, everyone.
Hello! 21 players.
Yep, 21 players.
And next week there'll be a trad profile. Can't wait to show you what it is. Hopefully it's me again.
Zach, you suck!
I mean, not really.